As Kirby inhaled the last of his enemies, he smiled because for the first time, the voice he mimicked didn't stop screaming. That's all well and good, but what you really need to do is spend your time over at patreon.com/playretro and support us today. That's patreon.com/playretro.
Stealing is my way of life. It sets me free in the night. Every rivet and stitch lets me find what I most desire. The cloth that hides me, the tools that arm me, all lead to that priceless moment. You may think you caught me, but think again. Because when I want something, I always get it. I am Garrett. Did you miss me?
As Kirby inhaled the last of his Sorry.
What was that Kirby part?
I screwed it up.
You inhaled the last bit of it.
There it is. Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back to Play Retro. This is Play Retro talking about retro video games, and I'm one of your hosts, Scott Johnson. And I think the best way to get things done is to sneak around all day and stay in the shadows. Why? Because in the shadows, no one can hear you fart. Where's my bow? Oh. The dagger will do for now. Stab, stab! Never even saw me coming.
We all heard you fart in the dark. And I'm your other host, Brian Dunaway, and I'm creeping through the shadows, blackjacking guards, and stealing priceless artifacts like a true master thief. And since I am here, I might as well pick up something for myself, like this gold tiara. I'm a little fancy-prancy thief dancing in the dark, Scott.
Sexy.
Take that, Garrett.
Yeah, take that, Garrett. Which I think is supposed to sound like garrote, like the thing you put around your neck and strangle you with. I think that was the joke there. I think. I don't know. I think they're trying to be
jokes.
clever.
It was hidden underneath all the dialogue and the wonderful music and the me going blind as I get older, apparently. I can't see this game.
Yeah, game's pretty dark. You know, and I don't mean thematically, although it is thematically too, but it's also very like no light in there, which I had to crank up some gamma.
Gamma?
Yeah.
Gamma.
I remember having
some gamma radiation.
I had to crank up the gamma back in the day when I was playing these games. Anyway, we're going to talk about
I can't wait to talk about that and some of the technical issues I ran into with the Steam and the good old game versions of that, speaking of gamma.
Oh, right. That's where I played it, was good old games. Was there something I was doing wrong? Maybe I could have improved my experience over there.
You was probably doing it right.
Right.
We'll get to
We'll get to all that. We'll get to all that. Here's the thing. Before we get into this week's game, which is the Thief series, specifically Thief, the Dark Project, and we will talk a bit about the Metal Age and so on. Amazing games. But
mostly Looking Glass.
Yeah, mostly Looking Glass, which is the better of the experiences, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Let's go talk about a little bit of what we did this week in retro. So I've been super busy getting ready for this Vegas trip. We got all kinds of people going out there. A few listeners I know of this show will be there, and I'm very excited about it. Here's something I'm going to do special. I haven't had a chance to really travel with it. So this will be my first travel time with the Ambernick H model, the RGB H or whatever the heck it's called.
Yeah, that's the square looking one, right? The 1x1 screen or something like that.
It's not 1x1, but it's this one that I added the.
Oh yeah.
These have been added on. They don't come with it.
Ooh, I like that. Oh, is that a 3D printed arms and legs on there?
Yeah, Brian Ibbett made those for me for a gift at one point.
Aw.
Yeah, I know. It's nice, right? It's very good. It actually really helps my hand. Like where my hands grip, it's perfect for my big stupid hands.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So H is not for square, it's for vertical, horizontal.
Damn straight. No, I guess H is horizontal, right?
Horizontal, probably. Yeah.
I don't actually know what they mean by H. I can't figure those guys out.
I read it. I decrypted all their codes at one point in time, and then I totally forgot everything. Oh. I'm sure people are screaming at us right now. I'm sure right now.
Yeah. You think somebody's yapping at their earbuds and screaming?
I'm sure they are right now.
Now, here's the thing, though. Here's what I'll tell you. I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of do a mini review while I'm out about how this does in a portable way, meaning like, is this a good travel device? I got a 5.5 hour drive to Vegas. Between there and then, I'm going to do this, and I'll come back and I'll let you know, and I'll put it up on our new YouTube channel. So that'll be fun. But then as I was thinking about it, I was like, what's going on with Ambernick these days? and I found out we're a little bit screwed on the Ambernick front due to the tariffs and the back and forth and the trade war business going on. The world's most prolific retro handheld maker, that is to say Ambernick, stopped U.S. shipments entirely. They didn't just raise prices. They didn't just say, oh, they might go up. They just straight up said, we're just not going to ship them to you. You just won't get them for now. So, yeah, man.
I got the email over the weekend as well from Ambernick, and I will say that Gizmodo kind of ran with the sensationalism here just a little bit because, yes, while they did indeed stop their U.S. shipments for now until they find out about the tariffs, they have warehouses, U.S. warehouses, where I always order my Ambernicks anyway. So those were already stocked. How long those supplies last before the tariffs impact them, or if the tariffs ever transpire in the way that there's a possibility they will. But they don't want to be in transit. They don't want the products to be in transit, and then suddenly the tariffs hit before the machine reaches the the landing spot, and then that would affect people because then it would have to go pay whatever to get it finished.
It's not all that different than what Nintendo's done. They have a ton of Switch 2s already in the States ahead of the launch of the Switch 2. They're kind of stealthily here. I don't know where they are. They're in containers or warehouses or whatever. But they basically shipped a ton of those here prior to these rulings or these changes. And that puts them in a position where they can sell at the price they want to on day one. Yeah. And then they get to kind of see how the clock counts down and see what changes in between before anything new has to come or where it comes and what kind of hoops you got to jump through to make that work. So that's not that different here. The big difference here is they've stopped shipments entirely until they hear what the hell's going to go on. So whatever we've got over here in the States right now, that's what you've got.
So panic buy.
Yeah, panic buy every Ambernick ever made. Go for it.
Just go ahead and panic buy and just make it a lot worse if you could. I'd appreciate that. Make it. You know what?
And then make it worse.
eBay,
there you go.
Sell them for and then sell. Yeah, buy all of them now and then sell them on eBay for marked up prices.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, these are all great ideas. But anyway, that's going on. If you want to read more about it, it's all over the place as far as why they're doing it and who's covering it and all that stuff. So good luck.
Yeah, I'm glad that Ambernick got ahead of this because this is Ambernick's always had great customer service as far as I'm concerned and great communication. They've always let me know when there's some supply chain issues or anything. So they're on top of it. There's the reason why they're the prolific player here in these little handhelds.
Well, they really pushed it,
quality.
Man.
Products,
and you can get
prices.
Some of them are $50 as low as 30 something bucks. Like that's probably going away. But regardless, they've been a good.
Tariffs are doing what deal. Nintendo don't, which is stop these Ambernicks from getting to the stores.
Exactly. Well, we'll see how it all plays out. All that stuff's kind of in flux right now. But if you were hoping to get an Ambernick, now might be the time. Because you can still get the lower prices as long as you're not getting gouged by whoever's selling them. Like I think Amazon, they're going to
don't freak out just yet.
Yeah, don't lose your shit. All right, Brian, what'd you get up to?
I know they're fun to collect. Oh, so I've been talking a lot over the last couple of weeks. I forget exactly when it started, but I think Brian Ibbett, who we do a show with called The Morning Stream, and is also a great friend, and is going to be at TMS Vegas. And he was asking about how to get his Atari 2600 to an HDMI. So I said, hey man, I use this thing called RF to HDMI. It's a little pricey. It's around $30, but it will do any freaking thing you want as far as it comes to RF to HDMI. However, typically these things arrive with the menu set to Chinese. You'll have to definitely do a little searching and get that switched over, or you can just shoot me a message and I'll let you know. And it's also not intuitive at all. Comes with a remote control, and you'll see there's numbers on here 1, 2, 3, 4, just like the channels you would assume. You go, okay, so I'm just going to turn my Atari on either 3 or 4. That's what we do here in the US. And then I'm going to hit the 3 button, and bippity boppity boop. There it is. Wrong. Guess again. Those channel numbers are programmable. So 3, when you press it, it could be anything.
Oh,
so you got to program. You got to program the frequency of what 3 would be in the US. And if you're outside the US, I guess you could do whatever you do there. But you program whatever the 3 frequency is in here. The easiest way, of course, is there's auto scan, and you can tell it when it finds the channel to assign it to the specific numbers and stuff. And then if you ever lose the memory and stuff, you have to start all over again. But dadgummit, I love this little unit.
Will it do any
and is
RF
this
conversion,
always
not just Atari RF conversion, but whatever you have?
correct? Yeah, anything that's a coax. Yeah, you got a coax cable?
Mm-hmm.
Stick it in there.
Okay.
Stick it right in there.
What about the
And
little?
it'll
What about the little unit between the coax and then the two little AB prongs that you used to have to screw in?
No, we're not doing that.
We're not doing
No,
that.
sir. You could though. You could get a unit. You could get some converters and stuff. I've messed around a little bit with that. And you could, but why would you? Because this also plugs directly in. So you've got our standard thing that we're used to here, which is that screw type weird coax. But then you got just a standard in on the other end. So you might not even need the little adapter. But this adapter did not come with this, by the way. But it's one of the first things that suggests that you pick up when you order one of these on Amazon or any place that you used to be able to buy Chinese goods before the tariffs. RF to HDMI is what it's called.
Nice.
And it's about $20 or $30 currently. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I love it.
And the reason why I went ahead and got mine out and primed and raised because people had questions about it, and I did that. But I also ordered an Atari synth cart.
Oh, tell me more about the synth cart.
Okay, I didn't know anything about this until last week when I seen on social media or somebody gave me a link. If you're out there and you sent me a link to a dude what is sitting in some kind of bar in front of a couple of old CRTs, and he's got like a mixer board and he's going to town and it sounds like Atari sound effects. And then he's got these CRTs and they're like glitching.
Yeah.
So have you gotten deep into CRT glitch art?
I haven't seen any of this. This all sounds like a nightmare.
Not until this week. And so, so I ordered myself an Atari synth cart so you can use the Atari keyboard. There's like little keyboards that came with two. I don't remember these at all, but this number pads essentially, and you can use that, and you can order the synth cart off Atari Age, and you can make music using the built-in Atari sound processor. And I kind of checked out some of the videos and that was cool, but I really want to get to the point like the guy was doing in that room. Old guy with a ponytail, I'm assuming. It was dark like Thief. And
Dark Like Thief.
He was jamming. Dark Like Thief. He was jamming just amazing synth tune, and the CRTs were glitching out, and I'm like, I want to do that. And so my journey has begun. $30 for that thing. Everything's $30 right now.
Yeah, why is everything $30 that you've been picking up lately?
Because we were living in a golden age of cheap electronics, and we didn't even appreciate
even know it. Yeah,
Scott, we didn't.
You know what's next? You're gonna go out and you're gonna buy a sandwich, and it's cost you $30. Oh shit! You don't want that.
So, but yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
The keyboards just came off eBay though. I bought one brand new sealed in box. It was like $20. They come with two.
It's
like,
not,
all right.
It's not bad.
I'll do that.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Brian, you've got your ways. If you guys are ever like concerned that you don't know what you're doing when it comes to buying weird stuff on the internet, just reach out to Brian on our Discord and ask him. He knows.
Right, just ask me. I'm always open to new stuff. My God, like I said a week ago, I had no idea that there was a synth cart for an Atari, or that there was people making glitch art, and now everything I'm watching is that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what I do.
Nothing wrong with a little glitch art, I can tell you that. But I will tell you this: if you haven't been paying attention today, we talk about Thief.
Shall we play a game?
Sure, why not? Let's play a little Thief. If you guys remember, it's a very dark game, as we've said before. This is a game that was very popular, rightly so. It took off kind of in a big way, and was one of the first, at least first person anyway, stealth games I'd ever played. There may have been some third person shit by this stage. I don't remember if like Sam Fisher was later.
I'm cautious about saying. Yeah. Even though this is listed, if you read in a lot of places, it said Thief, The Dark Project, the first stealth game, first person stealth game. I'm like, all right, we've all heard that before. Yeah. I'm going to say it's one of the first because somebody always comes at me. Well, there was a mod for the Quake that did the Doom, and it did the thing. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
One of the first.
Doom mods, Quake mods, they always get thrown in here in this conversation for sure. However, a dedicated game about you doing stealthy stuff as a character in a stealthy world, I think this thing deserves kind of OG credit, right? I think it is the original.
Yeah.
In lots of ways.
It's the
certainly
biggest
first
influence.
Person. Sure. There may have been some more third-person-y kind of like even top-down 16-bit era stuff that you could call stealth or whatever.
Stealthy.
But this was, this is way ahead of its time as far as, these ideas go.
They were thinking totally different because most of our other games were like built on the Unreal Engine and built on the Quake engine, and everything was fast and you were trying to murder people as quickly as possible. And this game said, well, what if we slowed it down and you didn't have to murder people? You could.
You could go a whole game without killing anybody, I think. So I think there are a couple of fights where you have to, but for the most part,
I think if you're playing on the hardest level, it's odd because you think, oh, the hardest level would be getting away with being sneaky, but the hardest level, I believe, is well, I guess that's right. I did say it right, didn't I? Okay, so being sneaky is the hardest things to do.
Yeah.
So the more difficult, the more sneaky you have to do and less killing.
Yeah, it's easy to rip through the place and murder people. For me, the Deus Ex games are the high point for me when it comes to first-person stealth. That was mostly in the newer games. The older game was less stealthy and more. I don't know what to call that first game. That first Deus Ex game is hard to explain. Look how dark that is. Look at that hallway. You need a candle. You need something. You just need something.
You need. Oh, good news. You get some in the second one, but yeah, everything's so dark. And then the game encourages you. It's like, hey, you know what? If it's not dark enough, know what you need to do? Walk around with some water arrows and blow out some torches.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Water arrows.
Yeah.
They make perfect sense.
Yeah.
And when they said
first time go ahead. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say the first time I did a water arrow, I was like, well, where'd I get these from? I was like, I couldn't think of anything except for those. I don't know. I don't know if it was a fever dream or if I remember like a little toy bow and arrow with the water balloon on the tip of it. Is that a false memory?
No.
Is that
I want to say, well, certainly Hawkeye has weird stuff like that. So like weird bulbs and things at the end of his tips, and those usually like explosive or something else.
I thought this was a kids thing, like lawn darts, except for with plastic arrows and Nerf darts.
Oh, I don't remember, dude. What is that? Were there water balloons that you could toss with a?
Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just some weird dream I had.
It might be. You might well be correct. But anyway, I think it's fair to say this game by Looking Glass Studios comes out in 1998, the Gold Edition 99. This changed stealth, or the idea of what we could do with stealth games. And there are people I know who personally still can't play stealth games, no matter how they're made or what they work like or what format they come in. They don't like the patience of it, because you got to wait for somebody to pat around, or you got to wait for somebody to sneak to, they go around the other side, and then you got to go over there and then wait some more. And if the game is handled right and designed right, it's some of the most intense gaming experiences I can remember. And Thief was definitely one of those. But I love Sam Fisher in those games. I love the Hitman games. I love Mark of the Ninja is one of my favorite games of all time.
Oh, that's a great one.
It's probably my favorite stealth game, if I'm honest. And that's
you mentioned a bunch of really good stealth games, and this is also a very good stealth game
for its time. For its time,
it's the AI is questionable, and that actually brings some of the fun to it. It always seems fresh because most of the time, if you sneak up behind a guard, so that's what you're doing lots of here. A lot of these missions are Garrett infiltrating a location and trying to navigate his way through it while avoiding guards, or blackjacking those guys on the back of the head and watching them crumple and then hide their bodies. Mm-hmm. The AI sometimes is kind of a little bit glitchy, and that can actually bring a little bit of excitement to it, because if I walked up behind a guard, 5 times before doing run throughs and I knock him out every time, there's still a possibility that I'm going to F it up.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to, for some reason, he's going to glitch around just a little bit more than he has previously, or maybe my foot will step outside of some zone. And that was probably one of the bigger complaints was and one of the biggest praises, very good AI, but also we weren't there yet.
It was janky.
Early
AI.
It
was janky. They could have, that stuff could have been better. Certainly. It has gotten better since then. But the one thing that hasn't happened, this is the crazy thing. Thief establishes this like new high watermark, and they go, all right, we now have a first person dynamic world and vibe and stealth mechanic and all this stuff. and we're ready to roll. This is going to be a lifetime franchise. It's going to have sequels up the butt, and you'll never not have new Thief games coming out. And then what happened? They kind of got bad. Like down the road, we're not that far yet, but when we talk about it, they got bad.
Yeah.
And
they did. And it's probably, would you say it's probably partially because of, the people who really started this? Looking Glass was right about to shut down.
Yep.
Like about only 2 or 3 years later, they were out of biz, right? Eidos, the publisher, I think they must have maintained at least most of the rights to Thief because they moved to a different development.
Still do now. I think they still own it. I think. Well,
yeah. So
then Square came in and bought them. So I don't know if now they're separated from Square again. So I don't know who owns it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But man, I remember playing. This is my experience with Thief. Back in the day, we've made many jokes about it. I had the money for the hardware equipment of stuff I was doing because I was doing a lot of work that required computers, but I didn't always have the money for video games. So I was the demo man, and man, was there nothing better than my monthly PC gamer that came with a demo disc. And one of the greatest demo disc ever was the one, I think March 99, I believe it was, came PC Gamer's demo with Thief. And I played through that first little bit a million times. Yeah. And it wasn't until this week, I think, that I actually played anymore. Even though I've owned the game, I picked it up years ago on Steam because, I was excited. I was like, oh yeah, finally I'm going to play some Thief.
Is that where you have it then? Is on Steam? I have it on Good Old Games where I got it.
I actually bought them both because they've been on sale in ridiculous amount of 99 cents. And so I like to look at both of them, especially when it's that cheap, because Good Old Games is really good about the curation of their configurations and everything for the most modern systems. Steam does a really good job of getting you connected to the community. And there are some, a bunch of stuff that you can do later for the dark pie. I think I only sold the gold. I think I got the gold version this time around. But out of the box, not the trapezoid box that you would buy at the big box stores, but out of the box, the gold off Steam wasn't working right for me. There was a bunch of glitches. And one of the things I think was the gamma. It wouldn't do anything. I was going, and nothing. It was just still dark.
The Good Old Games one, that explains why the Good Old Games one let me mess with it. I still argue that the game is way too dark by default, and even adjusting gamma settings just made it look like the back of a elephant's butthole. It didn't look good.
the interview. Okay, so we're dealing with a couple of things here. First of all, 1998, 99, you would have definitely been using a CRT. CRTs have a little bit deeper, darker, richer blacks and things. And we just had different settings and different video cards. And, we played Thief in the dark. And it was just, it's a little bit different. But you're right. It's super dark. But it was built on the Dark Engine. Well, what did you expect? It's going to be one of the
engine's literally called the Dark Engine. Yeah.
When you think about it, the idea of your AI not detecting your character's sneak based on lighting is pretty interesting, right? That's a really wild thought.
Super new too. Nobody was doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know of any game that was doing that. I remember like dynamic lighting in games was already very early. Nobody was really doing a good job of it yet. And this game knew that, or at least the game, here's where the AI impresses me, because yes, it's clunky, and yes, the dude you fight are kind of dopes and it's not that great. But when you're hiding in the shadows, you as the player know that you're in the shadow. There's not like some glowy line. There's no indicator on screen saying you're hidden right now. You just know it.
Well, there is.
Oh, there is, right. But I never noticed it. It just felt intuitive to know that I was in the dark. You know what I mean?
Right. It's called a gem. It's right in the middle of the screen, and it is terrible. At least the versions I played, it is absolutely useless.
Yeah, the little green gem right there. No chat, you can see it blinking on and off. I don't think it was worth much. I would more intuit it where I was. I'd be like in a little corner and go, well, yeah, you can't see me because I'm in the dark. No games were doing that up to then. That was new.
No.
And I loved that.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I had this ability to kind of take myself back in time, and I was able to drop myself right back into the late 90s and play this game, turn off the lights.
Yeah.
I turned all my scan lines on my CRTs so that I could pretend. And it was an amazing experience. And I could see why people loved it so much. I also did not realize how deep the what's where I'm looking for is the philosophies that were kind of on display, or ideologies. Yeah, there you go. So there's a couple of factions in the game that really don't have any importance other than setting up the world that you're in, because what's really important is Garrett's garishness to be a thief and stick by his code, right?
Yeah.
So he's constantly getting involved or trying to sidestep the Hammerites, right? I think you just showed the Hammerites there, their little logo.
Their logo. Yeah.
And he's trying to like go in between the cracks of society and these ideologies that are conflicting, and get the gold. It's all about the gold, which is a really smart distraction because you're playing as a villain essentially.
Yeah.
Because you're not really he's for hire. He's not really stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. He's stealing from the rich and giving to Garrett. And then, if the poor happen to be the ones who paid him, then they'll also get paid.
Sure.
Yeah. So, because they have all these conflicting ideologies of a steampunk world that just never existed, right?
Mm-hmm.
In these cities with rats and weird dinosaurs.
Yeah, some of the
right.
Some of that's really weird. Like, I really like it because it gives them a little more freedom to, like, his weapon set. His bow is not a normal bow. This isn't like medieval bow.
Right.
It's more like a modern compact bow with all kinds of functionality. And Brian said it earlier, but when you say the words water arrow, that might tell you everything you need to know about, put your brain in the corner while you play this game a little bit.
Yeah. Moss arrows. At first I was like, what the hell am I going to do with a moss arrow? Am I going to to make a little nice soft bed for a rat or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's so that you can sneak, because that's so important. Floor surfaces and how fast you move are all really important in Thief, including this really weird layout of, I was like, oh, I'm just going to do some WASD because I'm first person, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's more complicated than that, because there's leaning, there's full walk forward, there's sneak forward, and then the back is X. So usually when you go W and S with your left hand to kind of move forward and back, here you're like walk normal, then S kind of like walk slower, sneak, and then X makes you go backwards.
Yep.
And so a lot of times I would walk forward in a shadow because I'm like, okay, the guard's going to pass by. I'm just going to walk forward just a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I would go, okay, now I'm going to back up a little bit. Went too far. Oh, no, I'm still going forward. And, then the guard would turn around and say something snarky, and then I would be dead.
Sure. Nobody wants that.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to die. Everyone wants to live.
And the other thing that I missed also back in the day is I had desktop speakers. I wasn't using headphones.
No.
And I would crank them up and everything. But this is one of the first games that really makes heavy use of, like I said, you got to have patience, but you also got to listen. So you're listening. You can listen to where the guards are, because the guards are always making noises.
Yeah.
They're all phlegmy.
Yeah.
So that you can echolocate these guys.
Yeah.
So you'll know if they're coming down the hall or
That's
not.
a lot of like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty great. It's pretty great.
But then you start eavesdropping, and man, some of the dialogue, we was talking about it pre-show. There's if you look on the internet, people have went through the entire dialogue. They've written it all out. There's videos on YouTube with quick links to each of the dialogues of the guards. So if you ever eavesdropped on some guards and you're like, what exactly were they talking about?
Well, let's hear some now, Brian. You went and captured a few of these.
Yeah. Give me some of that beautiful audio from the thief.
Here you go.
Play you again?
Nah, you always win. Lost enough money.
Here, I'll let you guess first.
Like that helps me, you tougher.
Come on, low bets. Just one.
Well...
Okay, here. Stone or coin?
All right. Stone.
Nope.
Cards it.
Yeah, having just like shitty little conversations everywhere, trying to, be guards, thinking nobody's around. They're just doing the night shift or whatever. It's great. It's great.
They had to fill all of this. The game it's kind of linear, but it's
Very
not really,
linear.
because you could be anywhere. So I mean,
That's true, but
they had to fill all of this space.
It's kind of corridor, though.
audio.
That's my only beef with it, I guess.
It is
they
corridor.
hadn't really figured out how to make too much in the way of dynamic layouts. It's kind of like, well, you have one way to enter. Maybe a couple of missions had alternate ways, but most ways it's like one way to enter.
Assassins, you go across the off the rooftops and stuff. That level.
Oh yeah, that's right. And you can
do it.
So you can approach stuff from different ways, but it's more of a room by room decision making thing where the variety happens in a linear space. Does that make sense? It's hard to explain because how you react and what you do and when you do it and how long you wait and where's he going to walk, letting him patrol that direction before you do anything. These decisions are what make it dynamic. It's not really the layouts. The layouts are kind of static.
Right. You're corralled in the you ain't got much choice in where you're being corralled to. There's only some. And by the way, let me just tell you right now, these maps suck in the Thief. You do get a map,
they're not
but
good.
it might as well. Oh, I hate them. Oh my gosh. It's like they're all hand-drawn maps, which is kind of cool.
Kind of cool. I love hand-drawn maps. You kidding me?
It's kind of cool. There's a lot of cool art. There's a lot of cool art in this game. Yeah. But the hand-drawn maps, it kind of gives you a general area. So like, okay, here you're in this, it'll light up the area you're in. But those areas they're like big blocks. It's like, okay, here's the back hall, which is like 30 rooms. And you're in there. I'm like, oh man, I don't know where I'm at.
Yeah, they're not very effective.
That's not a map.
They're not effective at what they're.
A map.
Yeah, I saw some mods or something where they redid the maps. I can't remember where I saw this.
Dude,
somebody's got
this project, the mods and stuff for Thief: The Dark Project and Thief 2: The Metal Age. Mm-hmm. There are some amazing looking mods. I did get a chance to mod up. Because that was part of the instructions for the Steam version. So that's a really good part. So the good old games, if you want that original experience and it runs properly, do the good old games. If you want to kind of get a little deeper, right now they're 99 cents a piece. Buy it twice. Why not? And you can go on Steam and there's a little post. They'll tell you all about the texture mods and everything else. And it's pretty nice. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, the mod community for older games like this is always really impressive. I love that. So glad it's being taken well care of.
I mean, it's no PC Gamer Disc demo that I ran in my 86 box 98 second edition emulation and then got to go through the disc menus where I got to meet Coconut Monkey, which apparently I had completely forgotten about or always ignored.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably the more appropriate term.
Sure.
I did. But the first thing I said, hey, we're doing Thief this week, and I'm looking at the PC Gamer demo disc. I must have got like at least 4 or 5 people. It was like, Coconut Monkey. And I'm like,
that's awesome, dude. I didn't remember it either until
you in this game.
I didn't remember any of this until you told me about it earlier in the week. Yeah, or I guess late last week.
So Coconut Monkeys, it's something the PC Gamer was doing. There's a bunch of little mini games and stuff, and they've got this monkey made out of coconuts, and he's weird. He's really weird.
Yep. If you want a monkey,
late 90s.
You want a monkey made out of coconuts? We got your. We can do it. Oh, I hate that these guys right here, these zombies that just stand up by magic, however the hell they get up.
Yeah.
Freaking hate them.
Yeah.
Hate them.
Oh, I hate the zombies so much. First of all, you're like, wait a minute. What the hell are zombies doing here? There's a dark tent. Once again, we've got these ideologies that are conflicting. Most of them are wrapped around technologies and whether or not you want to be retro. And then you got this, or if you want to be more modern, the machinist. And then you got these, you've got this, he's the trickster. So we got magic involved in here too. So steampunk, magic,
all of it.
Rats of enormous size,
zombies.
This game's got
zombies that get up. All you got to do is bump them or get close to them, and they rise up like they are a stick, like a rake that Tom and Jerry sit on. Just goes burn.
Yeah, that's funny. They funny because like you stuck your foot, they just a rake pop up.
Yep. Boink. Yeah, they're annoying as shit.
Sideshow Bob says, Rrr.
But also they're not all that. They're kind of lame. They don't run. They don't chase you. They don't really have great coordination. So they'll watch you go up a hill. Like it just happened here in this video. They'll watch you go up a ramp like a stone ramp,
Yeah.
and just watch you. They're not going to follow you up there. They don't.
It's zombies. You know, there's not a lot of motivation for zombies, especially once they see you and realize there's no brains to really be had. They're like,
Also, I think the game
no
did
interest, really.
game did itself a real favor by putting treasure everywhere, just random stuff. I like that. Yeah.
Important.
Yeah, I like just walking around and going, "Oh, look, a silver hunk of something. I'm taking that." You know?
Yeah, tiaras, gold. I mean, there's oh, man, let me tell you what. If you want to enjoy this game, there's a couple ways to do it. First of all, get yourself Thief Gold. Get it on Good Old Games because you want to get it in as fast as possible. You also want to go get a walkthrough because that's going to give you the best satisfaction because they're going to lead you to places and get you to have gold and stuff that you would have never thought possible.
You'll have a way better time.
Sure,
also, don't feel bad if
Yeah.
you save scum your way through this game. I'm serious.
Oh no, say the crap.
You will fall and then die, fall and then die, and go, oh man. And you can save anywhere. So just F5. I think the GOG game let me F5 it.
F5, correct? Correct.
Just F5.
I'd actually forgotten about that until somebody reminded me. Said hit F5. I'm like, oh
Yeah, F5, then F8 to load, I think, and you'll instantly load in your last save. And so just save often. Do not feel bad about save scumming. Like, I don't even think that's a problem in most games, but this one, you almost need it. It's kind of required.
yeah. I mean, it makes it more balanced because you're definitely gonna get some unfair deaths
Yeah,
along the way. So
yeah,
yeah.
for sure. And look, more zombies. Great. And what I always, by the way, once in a while, like that light right there looks like somebody's jukebox. Like the Hammer guys are going to.
It really. So I'm curious about that. So this was during a time when direct draw. So you got your DirectX 6, I think, is what the first one came with, and the second one I think came with 7. And direct draw is all related to that as well, and you get some really weird lighting effects. And I'm trying to figure out if that Hammer window glowing, it's probably fine. Whoever did this probably did all right. I had some direct draw issues. Once or twice before as well, especially when I'm using 86 box. I'm saying a lot of words that people may not.
No.
You know,
But it makes us look
just be
smart.
throwing some terms out there.
It makes us look smart, so I like it. I think it's fine.
Well, it does. It's jargon. I apologize.
Hey, you don't need jargon is for free. Or I mean,
Yeah, jargon. Yeah.
jargon is for free.
If you have questions, hit me up on Discord. I'll walk you through it.
All your direct draw questions, direct them at Brian Dunaway. He's got you.
Yeah,
he's
direct
got you
them,
covered.
direct draw them right over here, baby.
You do what you got to do. Now, here's the thing. This game comes along, does its thing, and then it says, hey, the year is 2000. Let's release the sequel. Thief 2, The Metal Age.
Re-thief.
Nothing but heavy metal music. Just kidding. I made that up. This is a
You're
direct.
not wrong though. There's
Well, they added some
industrial music
stuff.
that happens in the kind of the first one and the second one too.
Yeah, it's
You're not
all
wrong.
it's all kind of that steampunky vibe, I guess. But anyway, this is also Looking Glass Studios. This is a direct sequel. It shifts the focus to man-made threats, mechanics guards, surveillance tech, robots. Really, steam tech robots. Instead of supernatural stuff, so it's a little more grounded.
And people hate them robots, man.
No.
People get mad at them robots.
They do. Why do you think that is? I mean, are they just? I don't know. I didn't find them that bad or annoying or whatever. I thought they were fine.
Stupid AI.
There's more AI problems. Yeah, I mean, look, they did, in my opinion, make this place a lot easier to look at. It's brighter.
yeah.
It's still dark, but it's brighter.
only a year later, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they've improved the engine by a lot.
Yeah, it's a huge jump.
This engine is growing fast.
Yeah, and I think that
Yeah.
at the time I remember going, "Oh man, these guys are serious. They're here for good. We're not gonna."
Yeah.
Like I said, the feeling of that Thief would be here forever, and no one would ever not
Yeah.
make Thief games. That just felt like,
Why would you not?
Why would you not? Because you really had such a great start. But in this case, you also had improved AI. That was a welcome thing. Better level design. It felt like an actual space and not like a Quake, like somebody made something in Quake, because everything is squared off in the first game to a point of like, oh my gosh, this is a Quake. Someone made a Quake level. That's how it feels.
Right.
This one, that feels like you're in this mansion thing you're in, like an actual place that you want to be. I like
you
that.
said, it's not corridored as much. It feels, even though it right here is corridors, it felt more open.
Yep. And you got weird stuff, which again, let their imaginations run free, but they basically added things like wall-mounted cameras and something called scouting orbs, which I think, if I remember right, could go and sense when dudes are in certain places far from you. What was the deal with those?
Yeah. You basically described it. I've only watched that part because I didn't make
Like in
it that far
Prometheus,
into
right?
two.
The Prometheus balls
yeah.
that would go through the Prometheus hallway
Yeah.
and do the scan. It's kind of like that. Didn't look as cool.
Yeah.
It was basically that.
Of course not.
Yeah.
It looked like the Phantasm Orb was like and came in and hit you right in the head.
Oh, the
drilled
Phantasm
deep
Orb,
into your
dude.
brains.
That sounds right.
That wasn't those. Okay.
Oh, shit. See, he just save scummed, and that's the right thing to do. This guy just did it. He got caught by a
You dang
guard.
Skippy, man.
Yeah. I mean, what else
Yeah.
are you going to do? Just die and go do it all over again? No.
And then complain about how virtuous you are. Shut up.
Yeah.
Get out of
F that noise. I don't like any of that.
You're a thief. You're a thief, and you're stealing. In the Metal Age, like you said, we moved on. So in the first one, it had supernatural mix, and this one, it was more like the Hammerites versus the Machinist, Mechanist. I don't know. I never heard him say the words. Mechanist, Machanist. If you want to know more about the Machanist, just stop and listen in on the guards. They will definitely.
Oh yeah, they'll talk all about those guys. I don't like them.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
And so this is a little more grounded, and some people didn't like the robots. I didn't get to fight them. I did get to watch some. These games are not as short as I thought they were.
No, they're longer.
You thought they were, but it was me. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just jump in. I can finish both of these this week. No problem.
I mean, I don't know what the speed run records are on these, but they always felt pretty long.
This guy's
to me.
trying to make it. Whoever this guy is running through this house right now, he's trying to make that speed run.
He's playing it on hard, which is no small or whatever the hardest level. I forget the name. They had a
hard.
Is it just hard? Yeah. Is that all it is? I thought it was some
hardcore. I don't know.
I thought it was some thiefy name. Like
right, probably.
Oh, this one's like
most extreme.
Very extreme.
very, very,
very, very. Look out. The other thing I liked about this one was the shift away from horror elements.
Earlier.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I got confused there. I called the first one. I thought Assassins was the one where you ran through the city. I got a mix between this one. It's actually Life of the Party is the rooftop infiltration.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That mission you're talking about. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, I like that there's less horror stuff in this and less like supernatural shit. I like it. I like that it's more grounded and sort of focused on stealth gameplay and things you'd have to fight in real life. And then when they did get more wild with it, they're just robots and constructs and stuff. I like that. I think it's pretty good.
Because the first one, there's like you said, it's all kinds of just weird stuff. And this one, there's rats. You kill rats on the ground. There's always going to be in these thief games something like ankle biter that you're gonna have to like swipe at. You're not going to see, and you're going to be like losing hell. You're like, what's going on? And you'll look down. Yep. And the first one I ran across a lot of spiders early on, and it didn't seem realistic because they were big, giant, jumpy spiders. But in this one, it's like, oh yeah, let's get some rats involved. And it's like, oh yeah, rats are jerks.
Yeah, no, rats are huge jerks, especially in numbers. They're just buttholes, spreading disease.
Oh yeah. So I'm like, that felt more realistic to me.
Yeah. That was the most light you'll ever see in this game. He just ran by a lamp.
Yeah, and I was actually able to adjust my gamma and stuff. They had a bunch of new quality of life improvements, a lot of improvements over just a short period of time. Came out here. I don't know if that was desperation or what. Dialogue still great. Maps still suck. Same suck maps.
Yep. Bad
suck maps.
Bad maps. Kind of useless, to be honest. Get the guide.
Yeah. Now
get the guide. Yeah.
Eidos was bringing us. Do you remember the trapezoid boxes? Do you remember the big trapezoid boxes for Eidos, like Tomb Raider and all those?
Oh yeah.
We got one here for Thief 2. I don't think they did one for Thief 1.
No,
I could be wrong. But I've only seen the Thief 2 one.
It's an interesting question. I remember I had friends that
if you don't know what I'm talking about, they're
all.
boxes. They're trapezoid. We used to have these big giant boxes at stores, and they would be all kinds of different sizes and not usually all the same shapes box. But these wanted to be trapezoids, and Eidos was doing that. Tomb Raider was, I think, might have been the first one I saw.
See if I can find one. If I remember these right, they were. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see.
And they're not cheap on eBay. Boy, if I'd have known that, I would have taken good care of my trapezoid boxes.
Found it. Okay, so they look like this. So they still stacked on shelves okay. This is a 2D version of it, but they stacked on shelves okay. So it wasn't a problem at retail. Jeez. But I can't remember on Thief. I don't remember.
Yeah, I want to say that I saw some screenshots of 2, and I just mentally remember going to Fry's and seeing Fry's Electronics in.
They did. I found it.
Yep.
Thief 1, Thief Gold, and Thief 2 all got the treatment. Let's see.
Interesting.
There it is right there.
Oh, they did. Look at there.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yep. Kind of cool.
You know what's missing from that? The planned Thief 2 Gold edition.
Oh shit.
Oh, they're right in the middle of making it, and it just.
That wasn't the same time they went away, is it? Or is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is?
The same time. Yeah, they were like, we're almost there. Oh no, we're out of business. Oh no.
That's a bummer, man. I hate hearing that. I mean, Looking Glass had very quickly built a reputation of being kind of rad. And everybody just thought, they're going to be here forever. They're never going away.
The good news is they have game will travel. Eidos just said, hey, well, we got another studio over here. We'll just
let's go ahead and do a new game called Thief 3 Deadly Shadows, and it'll be bad. How about that? That game is bad.
Ion Storm. Now we're into DirectX 8, I think, and we're looking at the Xbox. This is 2004's. Yeah, people definitely were much more warm to Thief 2. I think most people thought that was probably the height at that point.
100% that.
But this had a new interface that was
bad.
supposed to improve the quality.
It did not. It did not, though. It was bad.
That's why I said supposed to.
I mean, like just general geometry and stuff. That's all better, of course.
Yeah.
We're in 2004. It better be, but it just was not that great. I think the third person mode looked hanky as hell. I'm glad that was there, but also why it just looked bad. It
lost its personality, in my opinion. It still is a fine game. If this is your first experience with Thief and you have a love for it, I totally understand. It's a fine game.
Yeah, we're not. I don't want to bitch about somebody's favorite game growing up or anything like that. But it just did not hold a candle. It didn't hold a candle to the prior games, in my opinion. I don't even think it was as good as Thief 1. But I thought, well, all right, at least they're trying. Ion Storm needed projects. They're also gone, by the way. It seems everybody that does Thief goes out of business at some point. But there is some word that something's coming, right? We got some new deal.
Yes. 2026 is what they have slated for this new project of the Thieves. I can't remember the name of the new game. We don't look in the future too much, but with some we do. We can sometimes see a Thief multiplayer. I think it's going to be
what's it called?
4-player multiplayer. I think is what I was reading.
What's this called? There's a name.
Thieves? I don't know. Probably something like that.
Yeah, but is it officially through or not Eidos? But I guess it'd be.
I would. I don't think that's changed hands. I could be wrong.
Is it Thick as Thieves? I think that might be it. Thick as Thieves.
I think that is right.
That's
it was one of those
one.
Weird thief play-ons words.
Yeah, this is a new game coming from Warren Spector's newish studio. So Warren Spector helped found Ion Storm, and then all that went to shit. Even though they made a couple of good games, like the Deus Ex games came out of there, the first couple did, and then Daikatana was there, which is unfortunate because that was beast poo. And then he leaves. Him and Romero part ways. He leaves and started this thing called I guess the new studio now is called Other Side Entertainment, and Thick as Thieves is their deal, but I don't think they have the actual rights to the Thieves series. Thief series. I think they're just doing it, kind of riffing on it, on the concept of it.
Why not?
Yeah, I saw a video of this. Looked really cool. This looks
I'm
neat.
excited.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Check this out, Chad.
Yeah.
Look at this. Like lots of grapples, aerial takedowns. It's kind of an extraction shooter without the shooting. It's got an interesting look to it. I'm actually kind of into this. I want to see how this goes.
I'm totally. This is the right game at the right time.
Yeah,
bring it on.
I like the style of it.
Yeah, unlike that 2014 thing that it's called Thief as well. Didn't do as.
It did that bad. It's so bad, Brian. Did you play it this week at all, just to kind of get a taste of it?
I did not have the heart to fire that up. If I was gonna fire that up, I'd just fire up Styx. I'm talking about that.
Yeah,
Styx Master of Shadow.
The little goblin guy stealth. I never played that, but everybody was saying, "Oh,
you have it?
That's the spiritual successor to Thief, man."
It really is, and it really is good. I
Yeah.
really like Styx Master Shadow. You can pick it up for almost nothing. It's constantly on sale.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, it's a good time. These Thief games. I mean,
there's still
yeah. Go ahead.
It's still plenty. There's still plenty of Thief left. I mean, people still make mods and maps. There's something called the Dark Mod, thedarkmod.com. There's a couple other projects around all of this. You can find most of that stuff on Steam. People start pointing you in the right direction, and yeah, there's no sense for you not to play Thief in 2026 and feel good about it and go, hey, sure, I play retro games, but sometimes I do something fancy like
That's right.
Dark Mod.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Thief's still available on the Steam store, $19. Probably goes on sale a bunch.
It's fair. People say mostly positive, so maybe they fix some of the initial issues. Maybe
75, 78. Recent reviews 78. It's not bad.
Yeah, maybe I missed something.
Maybe it's time to go back. Maybe it's time to look at it again. I don't know. 2014 is not that long ago.
No, maybe I missed something.
Let's see. The Dishonored series, a lot of reviews refer to that. The Dishonored series kind of took the candle from Thief and carried it forward. I forgot to mention that. If you're looking for modern versions of stealthy, Thief-like stuff set in a big steampunk world type thing, those games, those Dishonored games, 1 and 2, very, very much in that vein. They're very good.
I just saw some review. You said crappy 2004 graphics. I didn't see that. I started reading one of those reviews you had on the screen for half a second.
Oh,
I was trying to see what vitriol was being
this game crappy game with 2005 graphics and gameplay. Seriously, we have 2014 games with much better graphics. Game is so boring with this awful fighting resembling KCD. The introduction of puzzles turned me off for good. Even for a few bucks, it's not worth it. Says Sullivan 74 with his 3.4 hours of play. Let's see what other reviews he's done.
That was it.
Oh, only review he ever did. Oh, wait. No, maybe not.
Came in, said shit bomb, and got out of there, right?
Nope.
Oh, he's got.
Oh, they're all negative.
He crap bombs all day long. Oh, look at this. He only crap bombs.
You know what he doesn't like? Video games. He doesn't like them. Like, look at this. Pacific Drive, which was well received. What the actual F is this game about? All you do is crafting some shit, repairing a car in a garage, and drive in the forest. Dude, this guy's awesome. I'm going to follow him. Look at this one.
I love this guy.
Moons of Madness. This is crap. This is great.
Oh, my God.
This is all he does. Oh, wait. There's 6 pages of this? Oh, there's some positives. Okay.
Oh, wait. You like something. What do you... Oh, okay. He likes
Hitman, Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. Fantastic game, by the way.
Maybe he's going through a tough time. He used to like things. Maybe he's just going through a... Okay, there he goes.
Greedfall. This is the most boring game ever created in the history of mankind. Yeah, I doubt that, buddy. I doubt that.
We don't mean to review shame, but shame.
Oh, I'm going to shame him all day.
RoboCop's good.
Hey, you liked RoboCop. That Rogue City game was awesome. I love that game.
Yeah.
Sifu. Oh, good luck to... What's his name again? It's Sullivan 74.
We don't want to... Yeah, good luck there. Is he doing good? You're doing good. That's fine. You're
Horizon Zero Dawn is a poor man's Assassin's Creed. Come on now. Come on.
Well,
I'm starting to think this person might be he might be full of shit. That's what's going on. Anyway.
If people got opinions.
No, you should have them too. Go ahead and have your opinians. It's not a problem.
Yeah, this is stupid. I hate puzzles. These are dumb. Minority Report sucks,
like that.
Yeah.
Man, that thing has come up more lately than who would have ever thought.
Yeah, it won't die, will it? It just
lives forever. That's what it does.
Die. But
I'll tell you what else. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say I had a really great time playing Thief this week, and I didn't have nearly as much time as I should have had, and I would not even mark off the possibility that we won't revisit Thief in some form or fashion in the future.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's
it's cool. It's got an important. It holds an important place in this world of games, and it deserves your respect.
I'm curious.
Yeah,
I'm curious how it would have controlled with a controller, because that was one thing that I was a little bit.
2014 one does.
Strained on time this week.
I think 2014 one does.
It does in a Thief 3, The Deadly Shadows, and the Xbox, of course, supports controller, and I just didn't have time to do it because I was at my PC when I was playing, which was too bad because I like to play in the bed on my Steam Deck. That would have been great, but Steam Deck said Yeah, right. Like you're gonna play these first two on your Steam Deck. Don't think about it.
Did you know that the voice, Stephen Russell, the voice of Garrett, is also key roles in System Shock 2, Fallout 4, and Skyrim? Did you know that?
So I only know that because I read it yesterday.
Oh.
And if that's what you mean by knowing it, but no, before this week I did not. And I was pretty excited.
Yeah,
So,
no, I love that kind of
the-
stuff.
The voice work is amazing.
It's pretty good especially for its time.
Yeah.
You know, you can't say that about most things, but yeah, I was going to.
Well, it was so important. And I'm curious also how it, there's a whole bunch of options and settings I've never seen in any other video game for audio. And it was like the number of channels, because the first one you could have a minimum of the Sound Blaster 16, but then by the time you get to the second or third Thief, they're like recommending the all 32.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And that kind of stuff. And it's like, and there's a whole bunch of choices for like, do you want 4 channel, 8 channel, blah, blah, blah channel? I'm like, oh my God, can you imagine having, like surround sound speakers back in that time and playing Thief? That would have been wicked.
Imagine no more.
Wicked.
Real quick, his roles, let's see, he had tons of characters in Fallout 3. Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim, he had a bunch. He was a guard, a robot, even a vampire. And then if you played, let's see, who's this other guy? I'm trying to find it here. I guess other than that, it says his biggest is Thief for sure. He says he's the most proud of that role too. So that's interesting.
Well, you did a great job. I don't doubt it. And it's really weird. The flavor text that's going on, like the little in between shots and everything, when he's narrating and telling you what you're about to go do in this next mission. They also have all these great visuals popping up. A lot of it looks like just hand painted stuff, and music is amazing, and just that whole experience is awesome. But it's just really just flavor, because most of it doesn't really matter. And I mean, really, it doesn't even matter at all.
Quick note, we mentioned Dishonored. If you want to play another game that is definitely inspired by this and is amazing on its own, Prey from 2017 is one of the greatest games ever made on PC or consoles. 2017 is when it came out. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like it came out yesterday. It looks insane. And that game right now is $2.99. Stupid cheap.
What?
Yeah, it's like 85% off for some quick sale. I think it ends tomorrow or something, or soon. So y'all want to get on that if you haven't played that one. Prey is so good. Oh my gosh. Love me some Prey. All right, well, let's move to a game that we all know will live forever. Unlike Looking Glass Studios, Scott and Brian's Guess Our Game will never leave.
Destroy it.
Brian, let's play this game. It's where we take an old game from yesteryear. We tell the year, we tell the platform, and then you have to guess based on the sound work who it is, what it is, and where it came from. I'm going to start this week with an arcade game from 1990. Okay.
Oh, that was a good year.
It was a good year. It was a fun year. Good year for games in general. But these are arcade games, and I'll go ahead and play it now, and then I will give you your options. Here you go. You get the idea. Here are your options.
I really get this. So I don't recognize that at all. But if anybody out there has ever played whatever game this is, they absolutely remember that.
Oh, guaranteed.
There's no way.
Yeah, it's one of those sounds where you're like, oh, yeah, of course. All right, here are your options.
It's locked in.
You have an A through D here. A, Sega presents Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. B, Atari presents Pit Fighter. C, Taito presents MC Hammer's Hammer Time. Or D, Capcom presents Final Fight.
This is the weirdest one you've done yet. And not because of the audio, but the fact that you have presented everything with the company presents.
Yep.
And I don't remember any of these saying company presents except for one of these companies, and I might be misremembering that. So are these are not all real?
They are all real.
Life titles.
Oh, I should say one of the games here is not real. One of them.
Okay.
The rest of them are all 100% real. Yeah.
Or is not real.
Yeah.
All right.
One of them is the correct answer. One is not real. The other two are real.
The things that I know exist Well, exists in some form, maybe not in Arcade 1990 by the particular company you have put back up here. Did you already say the things, or am I supposed to say
I did say them. Sega presents Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
You did say him. I was reading them. I'm locked in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Moonwalker,
Yeah.
a game. It
Yeah.
exists.
Yeah.
Pit Fighter
Yeah.
exists.
Yeah.
Final Fight exists.
Oh, I should say
MC
they
Hammer's
may
Hammer
or
Time?
may not have existed in arcades as well as consoles, and this is
That's
an
what I
arcade game, so that's an important note to make.
That's what I was going to say. I know those games exist. I don't know if they exist in the arcade, but I do know they exist in
Right.
some form or fashion. MC Hammer's Hammer Time
Yep.
never happened. Taito did not. I'm going to regret it for saying it so so definitively
Yeah.
that Taito never presented MC Hammer in his hammer pants. Not once.
Okay.
So, with that weird screamy thing, I do remember there being a sci-fi weirdness that was a Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Okay.
I don't remember it being Sega Presents Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, but I am going to go with A nonetheless.
Let's see if you're right. Yes, you got it right. Well done. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker as a Sega game in the arcade. The rest of these are real. Pit Fighter and Final Fight, of course. You are correct. Taito did not make a game called MC Hammer's Hammer Time. And the reason I put that in there is because it sounds like it could be real because we were doing stupid shit like that back then. But also, I wanted another one that felt music-y so that you would be torn between Moonwalker and that. So,
smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
You were too smart, though. You got it. You nailed it.
I don't know about being too smart, but was presents in the title of each one of these games?
Not really.
Was it like
no,
Sega
they were
Presents?
just okay. They may have like on screens the intro screens or something.
Right.
But
I think that probably threw me more than anything, but I love it. I think you should do it every week.
All right, every week from now on, it's so and so present. Signosis presents Wipeout. I love it. Brian, tell me about yours. We're staying with Sega for a minute, right? What do we got here?
Now, like the Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, I played it on the Genesis, and my pick this week is from the Genesis from 1994.
All right, here's your sound.
We will. Hey, 60-bit you.
Okay, it's basketball.
Are you sure it's not hockey?
All right, give me my options. I have an idea, but let's hear it.
All right. Our options are this Genesis 1994 game that Scott thinks is basketball is either A, NBA Showdown 94.
Yeah.
B, Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops. C, NBA Jam. Or D, Barkley Shut Up and Jam. A lot of jamming going on in the 90s, baby.
It's definitely not NBA Jam because I would hear the guy going, he goes downtown. That guy, he's not in there. And even on the Genesis, he was there. He was just a little crusty. I had that version of the game. NBA Showdown 94 doesn't sound right for the music. In fact, I don't think there was music while you played. There were organs that would go burp, 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 kind of like hockey. Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops. That's possible, but I feel like this is that Shut Up and Jam but Charles Barkley thing. I played that. I owned it. That just sounds right to me. So let's see if I'm right.
Scott says, give me the D, some Barkley Shut Up and Jam, and
damn it.
Oh, no.
Is it Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby bullshit?
If you played to like a second, 40 seconds into that clip, you may hear some Dick Vitale.
Ah, damn it. Let me go further. Hold on. I want to hear this.
Eat the Windex man.
Oh, that's totally it. Ah! All I needed to do was wait.
Stick it in there.
I should have listened longer. Dang it. Okay. That was, it was really up between those two. I never played Dick Vitale's Awesome Baby College Hoops. Oh, jeez.
I haven't either. And it was the only college game on here. I got a little worried. It's like, oh no, there's only college things. There's only one college one. It's not going to, might hurt me.
Yeah.
But
Well, there were no other, there should have been something around then, right? More college.
Dude, do you know how many
94.
Basketball games were out in 94 for the Sega Genesis. It was insane. I had to pare it down.
Yeah, I'll bet you did. There were a lot. There were a lot.
I was like, holy smokes.
Yeah, the Genesis 94 is the year everyone said the Genesis is your sports platform, and everybody was making these games, but like hand over fist, and a lot of them were really bad, like just shit. Yeah, shovelware.
Yeah. Giant hand over basketball fist. It was.
But then you had your NHL 94s, and you had your NBA Jams, and you had your the Madden 94 is an amazing version of Madden. Like they were killing it back then, but everybody else and their dog were like, we could get Dick Vitale to do something.
The awesome baby guy. You know him?
And for the record, Barkley Shut Up and Jam wasn't that great either. It's kind of shitty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's all right. It's not
That's
the worst.
bad.
Not the worst. You know what? It's probably better than Dick Vitale's awesome baby college hoops, if I had to guess.
Only way we'll know is if we play it. But I will tell you this. I saw some screen footage of the college hoops, and I was like, this is 16-bit? Okay. It looks pretty rough.
Yeah, pretty rough. Early to 16-bit. Looked a little 8-bit, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it looked a little 8-bit.
They hadn't quite harnessed the quote-unquote blast processing that they would later.
Yeah.
All right, time for this. Whoops. It's time to mention a brand new retro game coming to fruition right now. That's WWE WrestleMania 21. Came out April 20th, 2005. And for those confused about the 21, that is not the year. That is the number of...
We're on... we just experienced WrestleMania 41, so it is spot on. 20 years later, can you believe it's been that long?
I was never much of a WrestleMania guy, and I keep hearing every time there's one of these things, everybody flips out on my feeds and everything, and they're all talking about it. I guess people are really into WrestleMania this year in particular. Something about it was a big deal, but I always liked the games. They were fun, good times,
always fun.
Yeah,
I'm always down for a wrestle game.
Yeah.
You're like a basketball game. You're like, hey, you want to play a basketball game? I don't know. Let me take a look at it.
Yeah.
All right. We can play this one.
What's the midway
wrestling game? I'm always in.
What was the midway one that used like the Mortal Kombat photo technique? What was that called?
Oh yeah.
We've talked about it before. I love that game. Wrestle. Oh shit.
Wrestle.
Here, let me
wrestle hole.
I'm gonna midway wrestling game.
Midway wrestle best
junior.
Am I close?
Nope. It is called WrestleMania, the arcade game. There it is.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yep.
Look at that.
Great game. And the Saturn version, awesome. Awesome.
Even more awesomer.
Yep. I totally agree with that. All right. Well, there's that. Now let's do some listener feedback.
Welcome
to the treasure room. I don't know why I yelled it. I don't know what's going on there.
It's faster audio.
Yeah, what's going on, you damn slow thing? All right. We'd like to get your feedback over at voicecast.app/playretro. We can take both texts and calls there. And you don't need to do anything fancy. Don't need an account. It can be anonymous, whatever you want to do. We got one from Woojman. Woojman.
One of our faves.
Yep. He's got some corrections for us, so let's hear him out.
Uh-oh.
Hi, Scott and Brian. It's Woojman here. Wanted to let you know I'm listening to episode 165, the one about Hydro Thunder from last week. There were 2 egregious mistakes already made 24 minutes into the episode, and it drove me nuts. So I needed to call in. One, Brian refers to Wave Race 64 as Jet Moto. Not corrected by Scott. And then Scott proceeded to talk about NBA Jam and rubber banding and the midway-ness of arcade games from that era. Scott's talking about how Michael Jordan was unbeatable and you shouldn't have been able to have a giant lead with Michael Jordan and then lose. Michael Jordan was not in an NBA Jam. So unless Scott's one of the people that has the rare ROM or a rare arcade cabinet that nobody else had, he's full of it. Bye.
Okay.
Love the show.
Here's the deal. He is correct. I had Mandela affected that so hard.
Yeah.
And I know that there was a version of the arcade made, arcade machine made for Michael Jordan himself that featured him in it. But it was too expensive to have him licensed for the general public, so that never happened.
Right.
And then I thought, well, am I thinking of the home versions? No, that didn't happen there either. It was Pippen and Rodman, I think. are the two that you get as your standard two. You can swap dudes out, but I think they're the two you get.
I'm not going out on a limb here for Woosh Man to give more ammo to Woosh
Well,
Man.
that's true. And I'm not going to say this for certain, but I think it was definitely Pippin, because I remember the guy going, Pippin, and he'd yell Pippin a lot.
I think that sounds familiar too, but once again, Woosh Man's going to
But my point is the Bulls of the time, because he's totally right.
Yeah.
Jordan's not there. We all imagine that. But the Bulls of that era, my point stands. You should not be winning, or you should not be killing it with them, and then at the last second, the computer coming back and winning everything with the rubber banding from hell. That still stands.
Absolutely.
All right, because Pippen, I'll tell you what, a league without Jordan means that Pippen's one of probably the greatest player of all time. That's how good Pippen was. He was overshadowed by his own teammate, but Pippen on his own, different story. That dude was awesome. He was so good.
Just a Pippen by himself. He's like the Apple Pippen.
Yeah.
But I didn't go far.
Yeah, I felt bad about that, but you're right. I'd conflated the whole idea that there was Jordan in the game because I had heard about the special ROMs, and then for years and years I just put it up to that he was in there. But you're right, he's not. It's totally not in there. Brian, as to you, me not correcting you on the Jet Moto thing, I think I heard it and just went, well, people know what you mean. I think
I also I actually realized it after I said it, and I was beating myself up on the inside, but I was like, we're gonna let it roll and see if it upsets the Woosh Man.
Mm-hmm.
And and so that happens all the time though. You have no idea how many times I'll get through with the show and I'm like, I can't believe Wave Racer, I'm just such a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
Beat myself up. But I love when people call us out with wrong facts. It gives me joy. So Woosh Man, thank you for coming in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, you came in like a wrecking ball, like a half-naked Hannah Montana on a giant ball.
Because this is the same kind of shit I give my friends all the time when they say something wrong, right?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, we are happy to be corrected. We do not mind. I have no shame. So bring it on. Real quick, I just wanted to tell Wooge Man something. I did a quick search for Wooge Man because the name is always I like it. I like his name. And it's always been curious to me where it came from. So I did a quick check on a couple of search engines, checked it on some Chat GPT stuff. Here's what it came back with. Overview. Wooge Man likely refers to a retro-themed character, game, or concept listed in the Play Retro show. What? That's what it said. Key points. His name is Wooge Man. Let's see. Could be, featured in the, this is all
I'm getting a
nonsense.
look, I don't use Chat GPT for everything, but I've got access to Chat GPT. And somebody said the other day, they was like, hey, you want to really freak yourself out? To ask it what it knows about you. And I was like, all right, ask what it knows about me. And I'm like, that thing knows too much about me.
Knows a few things about you.
It knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, specifically, it was Play Retro. Apparently, there's a lot of data we fed in at some point in time to Chat GPT, but yeah.
Well, and this is my favorite.
Retro.
This is my favorite here. It says playful reference. The name Wooge Man might be a playful or creative twist on the iconic character Mega Man, suggesting a humorous, personalized adaptation. He says it could represent an original character or concept developed by a specific project, such as a podcast segment or a fan-made game. And then thirdly, it could just be a typographical error. There's a possibility that Wooge Man is just an error or misreading from another name. So there you go, dude.
I hope he comes back and tells us no is just short for Wooja Man or something weird. That's me. No, it's my name. Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you, Wooge Man. And anybody else who wants to call in or write in, you can do it. Go to voicecast.app/playretro. You can also email us still at playretroshow@gmail.com. We're happy to take it both ways, if you know what I'm saying. All right, Brian, our next discussion.
No, I do not know what you're saying.
Take it. I regret what I have said. We are going to talk next time about a game that is near and dear to my heart. It is a Grand Theft Auto, a Game Boy Advance game. I'm a major GBA fan. You know that about me. Love them.
Yeah.
And GBA had a game toward the end of its life cycle called Drill Dozer. And it was made by the Pokemon people of all people.
Yes. Pokemon people in between a couple of Pokemon games decided they would make Drill Dozer.
Yep. Game Freak killed it with this game. It is so awesome and underrated and unheard of. People don't know about it. Partly because it came so late. I'm telling you, do not sleep on Drill Dozer. You should play this game if you have the ROM, however you get it. I beat it last year again. I played it back when it was new. I love this game. We're going to talk about Drill Dozer next week. Okay?
I recommend you go to eBay, pick up the game cart, which came with a Rumble pack for the Game Boy Advanced, almost unheard of, and drop down the $300 or $400 it costs.
Yes, and Wooge Man, we know he meant Game Boy Advance and said advanced, but you don't have to call
What did
it
I say?
You said advanced.
Oh yeah, settle down now.
Yeah, I'm just saying. We all know we're gonna do some real time fact checking here on the show.
Game Boy Advance.
No D. No D. Just
Advanced.
advanced.
So like Advance Auto.
Yep.
That I always call
No.
Advanced.
Exactly.
Auto.
You can't. If
All
you're going to advance, don't go to Advance Auto. You know, you can advance to Advanced Auto. You can do that.
Yeah.
That's fine. But yes, Game Boy
That's
Advance.
perfect.
Anyway, I'm very excited about this. I literally can't wait. And here's the problem. It won't be next Monday because I'm going to be in Las Vegas. So we're not sure when this is going to happen. It will either be the following Monday or we'll squeeze it in somewhere. We don't know. But I'm going to be gone from Sunday through Thursday. So
yeah, as long as Scott remains keeps his sanity, I am up for whatever.
yeah, we'll make it work somehow,
That's all I
some
can
way.
ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my guess is you're all going to be enjoying the hell out of that episode because man, that game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that's going to do it for today. Thank you all for listening. If you have any questions for us, we'd love to hear them. And in the meantime, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/playretro. Be like these new folks. Mark Baller. He's a baller, man.
Hey, Mark Balla.
Hell yeah. Dwayne Powers. That's also cool.
Both great names.
He's like the Rock.
My name is lame.
Anyway, yeah, my name is lame too. I way prefer these guys' names. Anyway,
Jeez.
they're not going to get any commercials now as a result. They're going to get pre-show content every week, monthly benefits they can only get by being members of this here podcast. And you can do it too by going to patreon.com/playretro. All else can be found at frogpants.com/playretro. And a reminder, our brand new YouTube channel needs your subs. Why? So we can do more stuff on it. We have limits right now until we get that first 1,000 people. All right. And we haven't really pushed it that hard. So I'm doing it now. Everybody go to youtube.com/@playretroshow. All right. youtube.com/@playretroshow. And
Be one of the first 1,000. Look at you. That'd be amazing.
yeah, well, there's more. There's already some, but I think there's in the 600 range or something. But whoever's there now, we need more of you so we can get to the 1,000 range and do all the stuff we want to do. And that includes you be able to get the show there, just like you're used to getting on the Frog Pants channel. Good news is they stay there as well. They're on those playlists, so wherever you go, you'll get us. So go check it out. That's youtube.com/@playretroshow. We're also on Blue Sky, Play Retro Show over there. And that's it. That's it for us.
Yeah.
Go play something retro, everybody. We'll see you next week. Advanced stuff. Advanced stuff.
Did you miss me?
Roses are red, and I love to dance. When I'm looking for great shows, I go to frogpants.com.
Did you miss me?